Okay, we are live now.
All right, and welcome to the Mad Talk Show.
It's a special Joe Biden Valentine special.
Yay!
Okay, let's see. I even have a little intro here.
I hope you remembered to get Jill something. I'm sure his staff members did, though.
Okay, and let's see. Present. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is what am I looking for? Da-da-da-da-da. Chrome tab. No, I don't want Chrome tab. I want Firefox tab. Window, blah, blah. Okay, well, we can fix this. Because apparently it's Chrome centric. It's not going to let me do a Firefox thingamajig. So let's see. This is me. I made a special video just for this show. It's a very short video.
Oh, good.
Just kind of an intro thing just for this one.
Nice.
And let's see. New tab to the right. Okay, don't auto start. That's so fucking irritating that I hate that. Okay, here we go. Hopefully audio will work. It's not telling me whether it's supposed to give you some. Okay, also share tab audio. Okay, good. And let's see.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so where are we? So we are back here, and we'll start it.
That sounds about right.
Yep, I figured we'd Efap his speech, so I'd give a little introduction to what it's gonna sound like.
That's very, very nice. He was, when they speed up the film like that, it looks like he's actually moving in like real time instead of, slow-mo Joe.
Yeah, I made that. I sped it up.
Oh, okay. Well, you did good. He looked
yeah,
alive and vibrant.
Yeah, I know. I made the whole thing. I dubbed in that sound file I shared with you before, and I speeded him up.
Oh, that's good. You made him look better. Like, I'd rather have that version on TV than the real one, because he's just moving slow-mo and not making any sense. I like that. You made him look better in that one.
Yeah, because usually he's slow as fuck.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
So let's see. Control V, move over here. Hey, buddy. Don't auto start. I hate auto start. It's my least favorite thing. I've got Firefox set up the way I want, so that almost never happens, but not so much for here. Okay, here we go. He's ready to go. And so let's start him up.
Is this where he gets mad at the reporters?
Yeah, I'll pause here and there, and we can comment on his brilliance and his.
Oh, yes.
Hey, buddy. Let me say a few things before I take your questions. As you know, the special counsel released his findings today about their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This wasn't.
Yeah, you know why there's no charges against him, right?
Because he's a feeble old man, and they said the juries would take empathy on him. So it's either, yes, I'm a criminal, and I'm not too old or too slow, or I'm not old and slow, but I'm a criminal. If you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's
either way, they lose. So which one are you going to do? and because of this, just because of this, and he's been doing this while he was vice president, which he had no legal authority to take any of these documents home. I don't care. He's blaming it on his staff and stuff like that. You don't know what documents are in your house. Come on. And then where Trump has the legal right as president to bring documented, and plus his place has security and is locked up, and his isn't.
Well, essentially, they let him off, but they let him off on on senility, which doesn't make him happy because.
So then he should be removed from office.
Exactly, and that's why he's not happy. Because stupid as he is, even he can figure that one out. Okay, let's.
An exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th.
Yeah, that's where they figured out that he was senile. He couldn't fucking remember that his own son was alive or not.
I know.
Last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th, and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. Special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "Most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, he also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast, went on to say Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives and the Department of Justice, consented to the search of multiple locations, including his home, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation," end of quote. I've seen the headlines since the report was released about my willful retention of documents. These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong. On page 215, if you had a chance, I know it's a thick document. On page 215, the report of the special counsel found the exact opposite. Here's what he wrote. "There is in fact a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related to Afghanistan." On page 12, the special counsel.
Yeah, notice the wording here, a shortage of evidence of that he willfully retained. In other words, he forgot that he had them. That's not a positive thing. So let's start him up again.
Counsel also wrote for another documents. "The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden did not willfully retain these documents. The evidence said I did not willfully retain these documents. In addition, I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he?
Are you still there?
Yep, I'm still here. I was just listening to Joe trip over himself. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It seems like I keep losing you.
No, it's just I hadn't said anything, and at one point I had to mute my mic to have a coughing fit. But no, I'm here. It's just like I say, I'm just quiet listening to Joe eat his own foot. He's having a severe case of foot and mouth disease. So he's glad that they let him off, but he's mad that the reason they let him off is because he's senile. So let's see. You go, Joe.
The question I thought to myself wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented. I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of.
Oh, the Jesus defense.
Every Memorial Day,
we couldn't even finish it.
Remembering him.
It's Our Lady of
friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone. To remind me when he passed away.
Apparently you do, Joe.
I sat for 5 hours.
Yeah, he always says that he passed in Iraq. He never did. He died of brain cancer at home.
At the same time I was managing an international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case. That's their decision to make. That's the council's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about.
Can you still hear me from here?
Yep.
Oh, okay, because I switched the tabs. I was wondering if switching the tab was like cutting me out.
No.
So let's see. Go back to Joe.
There's no place in this report. The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet.
Oh, he put the country back on his feet. Have you bought any groceries, Joe?
Yeah.
Have you paid any fuel bills? Bought gas? Oh, he put it back on its feet. All right.
I can't believe like a small bag of chips is almost $6.
Oh, that's another thing I want to Efap. He was actually right on one thing. He made a more recent video talking about shrinkflation.
Yeah.
And he got mocked for saying that, but they mocked him for the wrong reasons. Shrink. I'll Efap that, but he was half right, basically.
I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad
out.
is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak. That's
Thought he was so funny there.
Yeah, he forgot to walk away
My
like he
memory is
usually
not good.
does.
My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president.
We
None of you
know
thought
you
I could
did.
pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concern about your age?
Only by some of you.
See, this is very unusual because usually, as you know, the press gives him a friggin' pass on everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the usual question for Joe Biden is, what flavor of ice cream do you like?
Right. But see, even the Democrats want to get rid of him. That's why they pushed him out front. They don't want him anymore.
Yeah, you're right there. They're roasting his ass here.
Yeah,
he's
that's
getting
why
a
he's getting the
beating.
hard questions. Yeah, they don't want him anymore.
Mr. President,
Cleared of criminal
Mr.
liability
President.
today.
Mr. President.
Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing.
Oh, here we go. Blaming it on the staff.
Yeah, why would the staff want to put all that stuff in his house all these years? You know, and I'm sure there's different people. He has different staffs throughout the years. Why would they all have one thing in common? Let's put these documents in his house.
I mean, do you remember a president called Harry S. Truman? And he had a saying called "the buck stops here."
Yeah.
And that meant basically that he's not going to blame shit, on anybody else. So Biden is like, nah, he's passing the buck.
All he does is lie. All he does is lie. He's lied his whole entire life. He when he steals somebody else's words on everything he does, on all his speeches and everything. And then he blames everybody. He's lied his whole life. And then he's trying to pander to black people. Wasn't he the one behind to stop and frisk all black people in New York that time? Wasn't it behind that bill?
I don't think so because he's a Delaware guy and that was New York. That was a Democrat. Who am I trying to think? He's a mayor in New York. No, he's actually Republican, but in Republican in name only. Because Bloomberg, I think, was behind that.
Yeah, but he had something to do with it.
Now Bloomberg was supposedly Republican, but the history behind him is he was
you know what he did? You know what he did? He's on tape saying that you have to have an accent to work at 7-Eleven.
Not untrue, but he probably shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, no,
Well,
he
Jim,
did. It's
points
on
out
video. I've seen it.
Things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
They just magically moved it without him knowing.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is
voting.
not
They
the
express
judgment of the
concerns-
press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your
Because
answer
I'm
to
the
that
most
question?
qualified
Listen to that. They just gave him an invitation to retire.
I know.
That's pretty brutal.
person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that, guys? Why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
I did not share classified information. I did not share it. With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not. Well, no, they did not say that. He did not say that. Well, let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of this multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what it is referring to. It was not classified information in that document. That was not classified.
Listen to hostility in the press.
Oh, yeah.
There's no love there. It's
No.
all gone.
When you look back at this incident, is there anything you would do differently now? And do you think that a special prosecutor should have been appointed in the first place in both of these cases?
First of all, what I would have done is overseen the transfer of the material that was in my office, in my offices. I should have done that. If I go back, I didn't have the responsibility of that. That was my staff was supposed to do that, and they referenced that in the report. And my staff did not do it in the way that, for example, I didn't know how half the boxes got in my garage until I found out staff gathered them up, put them together, and took them to the garage in my home. And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. It was in my house. It wasn't out in Mar-a-Lago in a public place and none of it was high classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know what I mean? Around the corners? None of that. And so I wish I had paid more attention to how the documents were being moved and where. I thought they were being moved to the archives.
There he goes, blaming the help again.
Well, then Trump can say the same thing. His staff did it. He had no idea.
That wouldn't. Well, actually, they're not letting Biden get away with it either. I was going to say that would never have flown with Trump. They're on him for everything.
Oh, I know.
I thought all of us being moved. That's what I thought. Now, what was the last part of your question?
Whether a special counsel should have been appointed in this case and in the case of your rival, former president.
I think a special counsel should have been appointed. And the reason I think a special counsel should have been appointed is because I did not want to be in a position that they looked at Trump and weren't going to look at me, just
Right.
like they looked at the vice president. And the fact is they made a firm conclusion. I did not break the law, period. Thank you all very, very much.
No, they did.
Yeah.
He just said he was too old to stand trial.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's exactly what it
That's
was.
all.
They made a firm conclusion that he was senile.
Yeah, he did commit a crime. They did say that, but he couldn't stand trial.
So he gets off.
Netanyahu says that he has ordered the IDF.
There we go.
I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct of the response in the Gaza Strip has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate.
I didn't know the president of Mexico ran things in Gaza. Did you?
I know, I know. And if you did miss it, when they were all yelling things at him, one of them said, "Mr. President, why do you keep mixing up world leaders' names?"
So I guess he's reinforcing the senility defense here.
Yeah.
Allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side. I've been pushing really hard to get humanitarian assistance into Gaza.
So it's Bibi and the president of Mexico. I'm sure they can really get things resolved there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of innocent people who are starving, a lot of innocent people who are in trouble and dying, and it's got to stop, number one. Number two, I was also in a position that I'm the guy that made the case that we have to do much more to increase the amount of material going in, including fuel, including other items. I've been on the phone with the Qataris, I've been on the phone with the Egyptians, I've been on the phone with the Saudis to get as much aid as we possibly can into Gaza. There are innocent people, innocent women and children who are also in.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. The Palestinians voted for Hamas.
Yeah.
They voted for Hamas. It isn't like Hamas had a hostile takeover all the time. Everybody was like, I remember that. This was many years ago. And everybody was like, oh, yay, the Palestinians, they're finally going to vote for their own leadership. We're going to have peace now. And they voted a terrorist group to lead them. So you got what you voted for. So no, I don't want to give them any aid, material or otherwise. They're getting the beating they deserve.
Right. And plus, there's videos of mothers teaching their 7-year-olds how to shoot and kill with their guns. And they're trained at a very young age to learn how to kill people. So I don't care. There is no innocent people over there.
Badly in need of help. And so that's what
No help for you.
Pushing very hard
Bullets
now
for you
to deal with this hostage ceasefire, because I've been working tirelessly in this deal. How can I say this without revealing it? To lead to a sustained pause in the fighting, in the actions taking place in.
No, a ceasefire isn't going to work because all that will do is Hamas will just import more arms and get ready for the next attack.
Right.
They need to get stomped.
In the Gaza Strip. And because I think if we can get the delay for that, the initial delay, I think that we would be able to extend that so that we could increase the prospect that this fighting in Gaza changes. There's also negotiations. You may recall.
It's not going to work, Joe.
At the very beginning, right before Hamas attacked, I was in contact with the Saudis and others to work out a deal where they would recognize Israel's right to exist, make them part of the Middle East, recognize them fully in return for certain things that the United States would commit to do. And the commitment that we were proposing to do related to.
Okay, this is not going to happen. Again, another history lesson because Joe doesn't apparently know any history. Do you remember Yasser Arafat?
Yeah.
He was one of the original leaders of terrorist groups. I forget what the name of his group was. But this was President Bill Clinton and the leader of Israel at that time brokered a deal which gave the Palestinians basically about 95 to 90% to 99% of everything they wanted. And Arafat turned around, looked at him, and said, no. So trying to say those assholes want peace it's just bullshit. They never wanted peace. And I believe, I'm not sure in this, you can look it up, but I believe Arafat got like a Nobel Peace Prize too.
Oh, wow.
Here, let me look that up quickly. New tab. had no Peace Prize. I could be wrong on that. Okay, yes. Yes, he did. The no net. Yes, he did. It says, it says Nobel Peace Prize, 1994. So this is the guy. So this is the guy that literally turned down peace in the Middle East, and they gave him a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, wow.
And so Biden's saying, yeah, we can negotiate peace with the Palestinians. It ain't happening.
No.
Two items. I'm not going to go in detail, but one of them was to deal with the protection against their arch enemy to the northwest, the northeast, I should say. The second one, by providing ammunition and material for them to defend themselves. Coincidentally, that's the time frame when this broke out. I have no proof what I'm about to say.
Who's he going to provide ammunition for? Israel or the Palestinians? I wasn't too sure on that.
It sounded like the Palestinians.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
would be a big mistake. But to be honest, Israel's a big boy. I do support them, but I think they need to handle their own business.
Oh, yeah.
We shouldn't be giving them money. Okay, and the shortcut.
But it's not unreasonable to suspect that the Hamas understood what was about to take place and wanted to break it up before it happened.
Okay, and there he goes, doing the old man walk out the doorway.
I never. How do I put this? I know the back of his head so well.
Well, I mean, he actually called this press conference, and he actually did answer some questions, not very well. Usually, what he does is he has this press conference and walks away without answering anything.
I know, but you know what I want to know? Is like sometimes when they catch him going to the helicopter or wherever, and he'll stop and say something or ask a question, or he'll go over time. He'll look at his watch. He goes, I can't. I'll get in trouble for saying this, or I've already stayed too long. I'll get in trouble. I'll get And who's he going to get in trouble by? Or they're going to get mad at me. Who's they? Who's controlling all this? I wonder.
Well, that's actually a lot of people. Like a lot of people speculate Obama.
Oh yeah.
Somebody else speculated his wife, Joe Biden. It's a mystery. Okay.
Look this up. Something I'm going to look up. Hold on.
Okay, I want to Efap his other video if I can find it. No, that's not the one. Here we go. Still looking. Dear dog, not that. Let's see here. Try this. Okay, let's see if we can find through YouTube. Let's. I had the tab up too. That's what's so friggin' annoying. Sometimes I'll have a tab up and then I'll accidentally close it.
Organization in the history of American politics.
Okay, now I don't know if you can hear this. me see.
I kind of can hear it in the background.
I gotta put it up louder. Whoops. Oh.
Okay, great. Finally.
Okay. So this is Joe Biden talking about the election. You know, when he supposedly won.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and
The
inclusive
Super Bowl Sunday.
voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Did you hear that?
Could you repeat that? Because I did miss it because I was fiddling around trying to get another screen loaded, which of course auto started, which annoys the fuck out of me.
Okay.
You said something about the history of American politics, but I didn't catch what you said before that.
Okay, let me try to get back to it.
And full of everything your body needs to not just survive.
Hold on.
I thought that was pizza. Everything your body needs.
I'm trying to get back to that clip. Hold on. I want to get back to it. Of course, this happens when we're live, you know.
Oh, I wish that shitty cough would fucking take a permanent vacation.
All right. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep, ready.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
No, he didn't.
No, but that's him admitting how they stole the election. What an idiot he is, huh?
Oh, he has a lot of gas. So let's see him do shrinkflation here.
The Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging it just as much. And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
Okay, he's not wrong, but he's just leaving out the shrinkflation is the other side of the coin of inflation. So whenever you get inflation, sometimes he's right. They try and hide that. So instead of raising the price, they shrink the size of the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
Like tuna's terrible. I mean, the little cans are so small. I mean, there's not even enough to make a sandwich anymore.
Maybe that's why that lady flipped out at the store the other day.
But here's the thing. We didn't have, whenever you get shrinkflation, it's always during an inflationary period. So we had that under Bush. We didn't have that under Trump. And it's back under Biden. So he's responsible for what he's complaining about.
I know, isn't that incredible? That's incredible. But you see, have you noticed that the Democrats and everybody on the left, they always accuse us of things they are actually doing.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's projection. It's called projection. That's the term they have for that.
Ah.
Okay, so boink presents. I'll spit out the background again since we're done watching. Let's see, window. Blah, blah. There we go. It's always good to have a nice background for a stream.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And it is the Valentine's Day
It is.
stream. It is a day of romance, and nobody's more romantic than Joe Biden.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, my friend.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thank you. What is do you have a special good memory of Valentine's Day story you want to share?
No, just a general overall feeling of sourness.
I never liked it. I always thought it was it's a no it's just a day to spend money. There's no real there's no history behind it. You know what I mean? It's just a made up thing for, the other partner to be forced into spending more money after Christmas on their loved ones to prove their love. You know what I mean? I think it's stupid. I never liked it. As a matter of fact, when I was married one point, I actually bought my husband flowers and turned it on him. It's like, why should men be forced to like buy candy and flowers on this certain day to prove they love? And I never liked it. I thought it was stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Let's see. Stop screen. Here we go. It's better sharing it this way.
Before I went out shopping a little bit last night before I started getting those pains, and I did buy some sushi that was in a case that was shaped like a heart and gave it to my daughter.
Oh, do you like sushi or just Sarah?
Oh, I like sushi.
I like sushi too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a memory I do have, although it's not specific, is my mother getting. I kind of felt blackmailed by my mother because she'd get really angry if she didn't get like a Valentine's Day card.
Oh.
It's like, look, Ma, Valentine's Day is for lovers. I don't want to sleep with you.
Oh.
And I realize to a lot of people it's more of a generic day to like relatives, but I always kind of thought of it as a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife type thing.
Yeah, in general, that's what you would think. That's like the first thing that would pop in your mind. I mean, when you go look at cards, it's not to to your dad or something,
Well, they do a Valentine's Day card specifically like to mother or something. So.
I know recently, but like, the more the
I know what you're saying. Traditionally, it wasn't meant for that. They have a day for
I think a
mothers.
majority of the cards there is for, your partner.
Yeah, they have a day for mothers. It's called Mother's Day.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, how many times a day how many times during the year do you have to buy somebody something? You got the birthday, you got the anniversary, you got Christmas. I mean, you have to add it, you have to throw in Valentine's Day too. I mean, that's stupid. I never liked it.
Well, you know what day they don't have that I think would be funny and they probably should is Divorce Day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Divorce Day.
That would be great. That would be great. I would love that. I mean,
You should send it to your ex-husband. I hope you're as happy as I am.
well, he's dead. So,
well, if he was around.
Yeah, I know. He was on my friend. He still is on my friends list. I would have. That would be funny if he was still alive. After we've had this conversation, I would say that to him.
Happy Divorce Day.
I know. I'm happily divorced. Oh my God. Yeah. He just died like over a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago.
Oh, so he died before COVID?
Yeah.
Because you know what my first thought now is whenever anybody dies is do they get the jab?
Oh, yeah.
I forget. The jab works perfectly well. Sorry, Facebook.
Well, when I went through it, like his page and everything, some of his posts, and I met him like at least 2 times since we've been divorced. And he really seemed like he was right-winged,
I don't know. It's just personal opinion. He seemed a little too sanctimonious for my taste.
Yeah.
I don't like people like that. I never did, never will.
Well, we ended up being better friends than anything,
People who wear their religion on their shirt sleeve just piss me off from the get-go.
Well, what was funny is that, his father confessor, after we went through our whole thing, now he used to be his father confessor for over 20 years. And then when he saw what he put me through, he said he couldn't be his father confessor anymore.
That's humiliating.
Yeah, he said, I can't do it. After I saw what you did to her, I can't. You have to pick somebody else.
So the same way I got fired by my dentist, he got fired by his priest.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
That's a rarity.
Yeah, so, I took comfort in that and everything was forgiven. I was validated, so I felt good. Yeah, we can be friends. So, yeah, he was like on working on his fourth wife when he died.
Jeez.
I know.
So it wasn't enough to be a 3-time loser. He had to try a fourth. Well, at least he managed to stick with the last one, although he just may not have been around long enough for the divorce to roll around.
Yeah, well, they weren't married yet. They just got engaged.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why I said he was working on his fourth wife.
So you're his third wife?
I'm his second.
Oh, so he married somebody after you and got divorced.
Yeah.
So the third one didn't figure out that he's kind of an asshole from the past two.
Probably not. Well, she
It's
divorced.
usually somebody 2 or 3 times divorces. I mean, not always, but usually they're kind of a dick.
Yeah, well, so he got divorced the third time, and then he moved in with this woman down in Rhode Island, and they got engaged. I would be very leery if I was dating somebody and they had like 2 or 3 divorces under their belt. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I know this from experience because my stepfather, Robert Bonvini Sr., I believe he was divorced like 3 times before he married my mother, and it's like, does that tell you anything?
No kidding.
And he was a dick. I mean, my sister likes him a lot, but not me. That guy was a dick.
So I wonder what Joe's staff got Jill for Valentine's Day, because he didn't remember.
Well, I think presidents in general, they're somewhat disassociated from real life because, like the price of food goes up, they don't buy food. If the price of, even of going out to like a restaurant, I mean, they don't go out that often. They have, their refrigerator stocked. If they don't want to, they don't have to make anything. They have a White House chef.
Right, but did you know that every president has to pay for their own food at the White House?
Oh, actually, I didn't know that.
Yep, they do. I saw a documentary on behind the White House walls, how things are run and stuff. And that was one of the things I learned.
So, they have to pay like the chef's bill when he orders food, or
I'm not sure. I just heard they have to pay for their own food. I don't know how that works out, but yeah, their food is not free. They have to pay for it.
because I know like Congress has the congressional like dining hall, or whatever the hell they call it. They have one for the Senate and one for the House. There's 2 separate ones.
Oh.
And the reason why I know that is because during COVID, the Senate kept the mask laws for longer periods.
Oh, yeah.
A longer period of time because there was some yelling and shouting between some, because I think somebody from the House dining wanted into the Senate, only he didn't have his mask because he didn't have to for the Senate, so he probably forgot it.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid. Because you go somewhere to eat, guess what you have to pull off?
Yeah, I know.
But but the two of them share something similar, and they're taxpayer funded.
Oh,
So now the politicians do have to pay for their meals. But an example that a meal would cost somebody like 25 to $50 is like $5 or $10 for them.
yeah. Oh, wow.
It's subsidized by taxpayer money.
Jesus. And they have all the money in the world. They're the ones that should be paying full price for it, you know? God.
Oh no, that's a grift. And another thing I found out from our mutual associate who works for the IRS is federal workers can collect Social Security earlier
It's so unfair.
than everybody else. Like the minimum age a regular person can collect is 62, and you have to take like a less money if you take it. That's considered early.
Right, right.
I think for federal workers, the minimum age is like 58 or something. And by the time I think they're 62, they can collect the whole thing, 60 or 62. I forget what the age is, but yeah, it really is a ripoff to the public.
Wow. That is just not right.
So now not only can they take Social Security early, they have a federal pension, which is also paid for by tax dollars. So they're double dipping on our expense.
Wow. That makes you so angry.
The whole thing is just a scam
It's disgusting.
that we have to pay for, which is really annoying. And then you fuck up, and the smallest way, and the IRS is all over you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean, I'd guess that the vast majority of people who get zinged by the IRS, they just fucked up on the math.
Yeah, now, who does your taxes?
Oh, I have H&R Block do it, and I have it done by remote. So I basically scan all my documents, send it to him, and then he figures it out from there.
Oh, really? How much does that cost?
I forget how it was. It's nothing outrageous. It's like $100 or $200 or something. Mine's a little more complicated because, like I say, I had company stocks and benefits and stuff, and so they have to factor that in.
Oh, yeah, I go to H&R Block. That's where I went to when, my scooter broke down.
Oh,
Well, not
H&R
the scooter, but my lock wouldn't unlock.
Yeah, H&R Block. That's me too. So we both go to the same place. It's just you can do that remotely if you don't want to actually go in there.
Ah.
If you just go to their website, they have a way. Or if you have like a regular person you go to that's at H&R Block, you can just probably talk to them on the phone and say, "Can you just do this remotely and send in all your documents through email?"
Oh, I think I'll do that next time.
Yeah, because I mean, why do you want to go? The weather's probably nasty. It's a pain in the ass. If they're sick, you're gonna be sick. So yeah, it's much easier just to send them all the documents, and they H&R Block actually has a website, so I do everything through their website.
Yeah.
And you can send in your documents through that. They can send messages through that. So basically, you don't really have to deal with other people, which is for me, don't really like dealing with people. So
Yeah. Yeah, I already have my appointment set up for next year, so I'll probably just do that. Because the lady that I used to go to, she resigned, and the lady that took over, well, they gave me to this other lady, which I don't think she knew what she was doing, so I made another appointment. I went with this lady that the person who used to do my taxes, used to always go to her when she got stuck, so I'm actually going with her now. So she's really good, but you know what? She's such a jabberjaw. She talks and talks and talks in between things. It's like what turned in should have just been like 45 minutes, turned in like 2 hours. And my friend's sitting there waiting to drive us back. And I'm like, I actually have somebody waiting for me. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. She was such a jabberjaw. It was painful.
sounds like somebody you know.
Yeah. Let's not say any more than that. Oh God. Yeah.
So we actually had our first Efap. I think it went pretty well.
That went really well. So let's see, it's 6:34. So I just want to
like I say, there's no hard and fast like cutoff time. If you want to go a little late, it's not like the boss is going to come down and start whipping us.
No, I just, I like to put a gripe in.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so my gripe is I just want to, if anybody listens to this at all, anytime in the future or anything, I just want to say some things. When you go shopping, don't go up to the cashier and say, "Oh my God, you look bored." That's what or you look like you were waiting for me. Oh my God, we all hate it. We hate it. Stop it. We've heard it so many times before. Stop it. Oh my God. It drives me nuts. I've never once thought of going up, when I'm, going up to the register to buy food and stuff like that. Have I ever said, "Oh my God, you look bored," or "Oh my God, you look like you were waiting for me"? Oh God.
Well, I used to get something that was every bit as annoying. I used to have this horrible job delivering auto body parts. And a lot of all those guys in the shops, they all think they're tough. And part of what they do is they harass the delivery guys.
Oh.
Now you're driving through traffic. The truck had like no air conditioning, so in the summer it was like roasting hot. Then you show up, and some of these guys start giving you shit. It's like, "Oh, why you got long hair?" Stupid shit. I mean, not even about your job sometimes. So then some of them, maybe the ones that didn't hassle you as much, would go, "Why don't you ever smile? You never smile." It's like, what the fuck? This is the most miserable job on the fucking earth. I mean, What do you expect me to smile?
Besides sewer cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're lucky I'm not acting like that lady who freaked out and started smashing things.
Oh God, that was crazy. I was standing right now, like right where I was setting up my stuff. Like the last 2 or 3 registers aren't in use. They're only in use like heavy times, like before a major holiday like Christmas or Thanksgiving. We get so many people that they have to open up all the registers, but usually the last 2 are just empty. And that's where we set up our carts, and that's where she ended. And I saw her whipping. She went through the whole store with Dawn soap, dishwashing liquid, and went all up and down the aisles and was squirting people with it. She went over to produce and started throwing produce around. We had flowers for Valentine's Day. She was throwing those around. I didn't know she was going up and down the aisles doing all this. I just saw where it ended, where I was, and she was taking jars of cheese sauce and throwing them at the assistant manager and my boss, and like there's like, "Come on, stop it, enough," and stuff. And then, when she threw the glass jar, I was like, "Oh my God," because I was standing like maybe 10 feet away from her, and but more behind her. So she really didn't see me. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, I figured you'd appreciate that if I gave a little.
Thank you. That one right there. And she was just, oh my God, she was just taking. There was frozen stuff, and now she thinks she's going to sue the place and own it. Little does she know, on that video that she's making right there, that's just a clip of a video she was making, talking about the incident. She admits on video right there that she assaulted some small black employee there. I'm trying to figure out who that was, and an old man. And then there's witnesses I talked to that worked there. She was assaulting a little kid with vegetables, throwing vegetables at him and stuff like that. And then there are cameras all over the store. There are cameras, and they know if you pick in your nose. All right. The only place they don't have cameras is in the stairwell and in the bathrooms. All right. They can see wherever you are, what you're doing. So not only is there plenty of footage and there's plenty of witnesses, she's even admitted on tape she assaulted people.
I mean,
what a dumbass.
What is her excuse for doing this?
She was saying she was being harassed about some kind of cheesecake. It was hard to see. Here she is in this video. This is just a snap of her video. explaining her side of the story. Now it's 2 hours long, right? And it's not until like the last maybe 15, 20 minutes she actually tells some of the story, but she never really gets into how it started. Something about cream cheese or something like that, and 3 people following her. And then she started, throwing things at them, and then then they surrounded her, and then that's when she started really going crazy and throwing things and stuff like that. It's not really clear. She doesn't really explain it, because not only is she pregnant in the video, but she's toking on a nice doobie too at the same time. So her thoughts are all scattered all over the place.
Hey, how about for our next stream, we Efap that video?
Her video right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured I wouldn't have to twist your arm too much on that one.
It'll be painful, though, I'm telling you.
Well, the thing about it is the spots you want to fast forward because she's just like rambling or something, I can do that. So we don't have to sit there and watch her entire video.
Okay.
You just tell me where the juicy parts are and I'll go to them.
Okay. But I can let me see. I'll just, if you can get her name, you can see her name. Is her name on there? Let me see.
I mean, we don't have to do that now because that's probably gonna take like a half an hour at least. I was thinking for the next stream.
No, I know. I'm just saying, if you look up her name on Facebook, that's one of the first videos she posted. You can preview yourself, in your own time.
I wonder if there's a way to save Facebook videos because she could take that down.
Yeah.
In fact, if she had a lawyer, that would be the first thing I'd advise her is take that down like now.
Yeah. Oh my God, she was crazy. And like we had this display of all these sodas on an end cap, and when she flung the glass jar of cheese sauce at the assistant manager's head and he batted it away, it went into the thing of soda balls, just like bowling pins. They went down like bowling pins, all down, they were like, oh, come on, stop it, and then she just kept on. Then she just walked, towards the front of the store. She was walking away from me. Oh my God.
I was just watching a video and somebody was kind of lamenting because of environmental reasons why all soda bottles are made out of plastic now.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if she did that back in the 70s when all soda bottles were made out of glass?
Oh, I know. And then, she's saying, I'm pregnant. And then she's smoking a nice fat doobie, Somebody commented that her nails are dirty on this video. And then she's nasty looking, so she takes a shower while she's doing this. You don't see anything, though. You can just hear her talking in the shower.
Well, that's good. I don't want to see anything.
Oh, no. Yeah, so.
So she's pregnant.
That broke up the monotony, let me tell you. Then we had to go around cleaning it up and stuff. That's where on one of the pictures I sent you, the paper towels on the floor, there were paper towels all over the store trying to clean up the mess that she did.
That sucks. So, you think about the stupidity. She caused a physical confrontation. Don't you think that she kind of endangered her own kid?
Yeah, she did. And I'm telling you, videos all over the place, video cameras all over the place.
So basically, this all got started because, from what you told me, just to clarify this, she was upset over a cheesecake.
No, what happened was she got caught stealing some flowers.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
She's saying something about cheesecake, but it started when people caught her trying to steal some flowers, and when she was confronted, she got mad that she got caught stealing, and she threw a tantrum throughout the whole store.
Don't you love people who commit criminal activities
and then
make it worse? Now,
yeah.
when she got caught, were they just going to throw her out of the store, or was she going to have an interview with the store detective?
She probably would have just been thrown out, asked to leave.
Because a lot of times when the store catches you, they'll prosecute you. So that she could have had that. I'm not saying it's accused; she's guilty, but that could have been on her mind.
No, it's I believe it's after a certain amount. After it has to be a certain amount of money. It goes over, then there'll be a case. But if it's under, they're just saying, just you leave the stuff here and leave, and you're banned.
Okay, so she turned basically what could have been kicked and banned, which is nothing. I mean, there's a ton of grocery stores out there,
Right.
to possible prosecution.
Right. I had some comments on there too. And she was trying to say, Travis, the one I showed a picture of, the assistant manager. She was trying to say that he, was pushing on her with a hard on. Let me tell you, honey, she is so homely that his dick probably inverted to get away. Inverted.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. That would have been a possibility if nothing had happened and he just like bumped into her and like ground into her or something.
Yeah.
But her throwing stuff around, almost whacking him over the head that's not attractive.
No.
I mean, even if she was gorgeous, he probably wouldn't have had a heart on at that time because he's like trying not to get injured.
And he has a very good looking wife, so I doubt he's that desperate to, get hard over this, whatever.
Well, I will say, I knew one guy, and he'd do anything. if it had boobs and a clit, I mean, he'd be on it. No, it didn't matter. Short ones, fat ones, hideous ones.
He was like a Gene Simmons.
Without the money.
Yeah, because that's what Gene Simmons didn't care what the woman looked like. He loved them all. That was nice. He didn't discriminate who he laid.
Jesus, I would have.
No, he didn't care.
If I had that kind of money, I mean, I can understand what this guy was talking about because he's just a working guy.
Yeah.
And he's not famous.
Right.
But I mean, most famous people, and I don't blame them at all, they're a little more discriminatory.
Yeah, no, not Gene. That's why I said, the guy was a Gene Simmons.
Kind of the same mentality. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if some guy found that woman appealing, but not while she's throwing stuff.
Oh, no. She looked out of it and everything. I mean, she looked dirty too, So I don't think anybody would have found her appealing that day. I mean, she must have had an off day. Right here, she looks good.
So when was this? A couple of days ago, right?
This was Monday. This was Monday evening.
Yeah, so maybe she was getting some flowers for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to pay for them.
Right.
Now, I know everything's expensive, but I mean, unless you're getting like roses, I mean, how much do flowers cost?
I know. Like the average price at my place is like $14.99, 15 something, the cheapest.
I was thinking $5, but I just gave away my age.
Yeah.
There's one of those old fart things, like when my mother used to send me out to get milk.
Yeah.
I always used to have to fight with her because she'd give me less than what it costs. It's like, no, Mom, milk doesn't cost that anymore. It costs this.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, you're just trying to skeeve extra money.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she was the worst person to get stuff for.
Well, your mother wasn't a very happy person. She didn't have a positive outlook on life. She wasn't a positive person.
Yeah, but if you're not going to be grateful, at least don't be an asshole when somebody's trying to do you a favor.
Right. I'm not like that with my daughter, It's like, can you do this for me? And I'll be very thankful,
Yeah, plus you probably don't pull the old fart thing, whereas you don't give her like less money than it takes to actually buy what you're looking for.
Oh, no.
It's like, no, I'm not trying to rip you off. It really is that expensive. Well, the other thing was, of course, taking a little cough break.
Oh.
And the other thing, of course, was God fucking forbid you gave a list and they didn't have what she was looking for.
Oh.
You got me. Didn't want Diet Pepsi. I want Diet Coke. You didn't look hard enough. Take it back and get what I wanted.
Oh, my God.
It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Wow.
That's why when I did you favors, like, because you had your leg was busted,
Yeah.
it was such a nice contrast.
Oh, I-
Because you're always nice. I mean, if I couldn't find what you wanted, you'd be like, "Aren't you glad to have something?" You know?
oh, good. I'm glad I wasn't an asshole.
No, no. I mean, it was direct contrast because it was right around the same time period.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I think my mother was sick or had some kind of operation. I don't know what it was, but
yeah.
I know. I mean, she always used to complain that nobody ever wanted to help her, but whenever anybody did, she treated him like a boodle boy.
Oh, nobody wanted to be around her. Who
I
wants
mean,
to
no.
be around a pissy pot?
Well, it's like, yeah, if you're trying to help somebody and all they're doing is giving you shit, then you don't want to help them.
Oh, my phone's not working. I'm sorry. I'm deaf suddenly. No, I'm busy that day. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, trust me, that wouldn't work.
I don't know English anymore. No inglés.
Yeah, that's a good one. No habla inglés.
Yeah.
I actually learned how to say that. That
Oh,
Beth always telling me to learn Spanish, so that's what I learned. No habla inglés.
ugh.
It's she asked me. It's like, why don't you want to learn Spanish? It's like, because I fucking don't.
I was when I was at my other job, a Spanish person came in and started talking, and they go, speak a Spanish?" And I go, "No." And then they said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I'm American." uh,
Yeah, it's like plus I mean, I'd understand them asking if you were like had like black hair, brown eyes, dark skin, they might think that you're Hispanic.
right.
So of course, you'd at that point, oh, you speak, Spanish, but I mean, she asked that question, like probably the palest person,
Yeah, you got that.
freckles, reddish hair,
Yep.
blue eyes. It's like, yeah, figure it out.
I know, right?
I mean, if I was going to ask, do you speak Icelandic or Gaelic?
Yeah, that'd be more reasonable, don't you think? That'd be more
I think so.
likely. Not that I do, but if you had to put a language on me.
Well, I mean, definitely not everybody, but some people come over to the U.S. immigrants with an attitude.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't speak my language. It's like, do you know how many languages there are?
Yeah.
Like probably hundreds in varying dialects. So no, I can't speak every single language of every single person that comes over here. You need to learn English.
Right. I mean, we have to learn their language when we go over their, country, whoever it is. Most of the time.
Well, yeah, if you go in there to live. I mean, tourists. I mean, is a different thing.
Right.
Nobody expects a tourist to learn
No.
learn the language, except for the French. The French get mad when tourists don't speak French because that's just how arrogant. Not all the French, but some of them do. I've heard of that from people who've gone to France. They get mad if you don't speak French.
Wow, I never heard that.
Montreal's like that too.
Oh. I think I have heard that though. Yeah, they're a little snotty up there.
Well, I knew somebody who he didn't come from Montreal. He came from another part of Canada. And I said, Montreal's a place where they stuff all the not nice Canadians, and he laughed.
Oh.
Because most people from other parts of Canada will be the nicest people like you ever met. I found that to be very consistent with Canadians I've met.
Oh.
I mean, there's exceptions to everything. So if you're into somebody from Canada who's nasty, don't quote me. But just mostly.
I'm going to say, well, so-and-so said you were supposed to be as nice as can be, and you're not being nice.
Or when they're not nice, you got to ask the question first. Are you from Quebec?
Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, it's 6:54, and I'm getting hungry.
All right, well, I'll let you go. I actually had a little bit of SpaghettiOs before I came over here. Not the best meal, but sometimes you just need something that's quick.
Yeah, well, with my little problem last night, I haven't eaten in a while, and I ate a little bit earlier and nothing happened. I feel much better, so I'm thinking it may have been gas pressing on that area
I'd
to
still
feel
be
like that.
careful.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
eat don't eat anything fatty,
Oh
no
no,
matter
no.
how much you want to, because I like the same kind of food you do. So I know how much it sucks having to give up food that you like.
Oh, I like a lot of healthy stuff though too. You know, so it's not that bad.
All right. Well, I guess I'll
But
let you
I
go.
can have spaghetti because I have to be like I have to like I remember when they first let me start eating, I was on a low fiber diet. Nothing too fibery for some reason. Which you think would be the opposite, you know?
Well, no, I think it might be similar to diverticulitis because when you have diverticulitis, um, before when you're not having an outbreak, in other words, when everything's normal, you're supposed to eat a really high fiber diet. But once you get an actual outbreak, then you have to switch to like nothing, like totally low fiber. In fact, you switch to a liquid diet at first, then you slowly ration it up. But fiber really irritates it once you've had an outbreak. A flare up, that's what they call it, a flare up. And
Yeah,
that might be the same for you. So no, because I read normally I looked up quickly, gallbladder issues.
yeah,
And they did say I think you're supposed to eat like fiber and stuff, but it's probably like the same thing with diverticulitis. Once you have a flare up, then you have to take it life very easy.
yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make some spaghetti.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So yeah, spaghetti with some kind of cream sauce or I don't know, just butter and garlic.
Yeah, I get these little one serving size tomato sauce cans.
Oh yeah,
The little cans, so I don't have to sit there with like half or 3/4 of a can of tomato sauce in my refrigerator.
yeah.
And that those work pretty well. So
Ooh.
so I guess I'll cough my way out of the end of the stream.
All right. Well, if anybody was listening, thanks for joining us, but I doubt anybody was. But maybe down the line somebody will listen to this in their spare time.
Well, yeah, usually what I do is I copy them over to YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So they can't watch YouTube live because then I can't do Facebook. But at least, like you say, they can watch it later.
Yeah. All right. Well, you take care, my friend, until we do this again.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye. How do I get out of here?
I'm clicking end stream, so you won't really have